Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've done a gear review, so I just wanted to give you a quick channel update just to show you some of the latest stuff that I've been testing out. I've always been a big fan of quality shoes, even if it's for like casual wear or for work or for fitness. If you watch my workouts, most of my workouts are done barefoot if I'm doing weight training, but I also run a lot, so having good quality pair of running shoes is extremely important. Today's topic is going to be a perfect tactical or work shoes or a hiking shoe, because a lot of that stuff kind of works together. Like the hiking shoes, a lot of the military and law enforcement use a lot of the hiking boots. Many years ago, Salomon came around and was big in the tactical space, and I was one of the first guys on my team to actually buy a pair of Salomon shoes, and they were my favorite shoes, and they took off and a lot of people started buying Salomons, and they're still pretty popular. But I've gone away from buying Salomon shoes because they're pretty expensive, and usually you have to wait till the end of the season to score any good deals. But I just wanted to give different brands a try, so I'll show you my two favorite Salomon shoes that I had. So these are the original Salomons from many years ago. These are really worn out. These are just my garage shoes right here on the right, and these are the Altra 2s Gore-Tex shoes. Like I said, these are the very first Salomons that came on the market, and these are completely worn out. Like I said, I just use them in the garage when I'm working on doing some woodworking. And these were my favorite summer shoes. These are the Speed Assaults, the original ones, and these were my favorite summer shoes because these were super comfortable and they're very breathable, and my feet never got super hot on them. As you can see, it's kind of like a jungle boot. They have the vents on the sides and it's got the Vibram soles on them. Since I do a lot of barefoot training over the years, my feet actually got wider. So the Salomon Speed Assaults, I can't wear those anymore because it hurts my feet by wearing those shoes because it just narrows your toes. So I went down the rabbit hole of researching wider toe box shoes. I knew that Altra was the popular brand out there that made wide toe box specific shoes for running or hiking. So the recent Gore-Tex shoes that I got for work were these Altra Olympus 6 Gore-Tex shoes. So I decided to go with instead of going the mid boot, I decided to go with a low cut just to give these a try. And I've been wearing the Olympus 6s for the last 3 months, and since this is springtime and the weather's been pretty bad because it's been either raining or snowing or both, and the temperature ranges have been anywhere from below 0 to 70 degrees like it was just yesterday. The Olympus 6 have been a great shoe. They're super comfortable. I'm really enjoying the wide toe box on those shoes. And after a while, I realized that the Gore-Tex shoes were a little too warm for me. So I decided to get another pair of Ultras that were non-Gore-Tex. I know that Altra also makes Olympus 6 non-Gore-Tex version, but I decided to try a different model. A couple weeks ago, I purchased these Altras Timp 5s, and I've been wearing them for the last 2 weeks, and I've been wearing them at work, but I also have been wearing them just playing pickleball with my kids just a little bit ago. And I was wearing them all day yesterday when we did a quick trip to Milwaukee, and we walked around a lot. I just wanted to wear them in different conditions, different environments, just so I could give you an honest feedback on both of these shoes. So the Olympus 6 Gore-Tex shoes, they weigh 16.7 ounces. And the Timp 5s, they weigh 9.8 ounces. So the weight difference is actually quite significant if that's your main concern. So the Olympus 6, they have their maximum cushioning that you can get on the Altra shoes. So the stack height, which is the height of the sole itself, is 33 millimeters, and the Timp 5s is considered a high cushion, and the stack height is 29 millimeters. So it's like 3.3 millimeter difference in height. And both of these shoes are zero drop shoes. So the Olympus 6s, as you can see, their top is completely covered in leather material. One thing you'll notice on the video here is on the website it says that these shoes are black, but if you can put them side by side to an actual black shoes, these are like a grayish color. So it's more like a suede material up top, and it's fully leather and it's enclosed. And as you can see, it's got a nice little toe protector here. So this rubberized piece. So if you're gonna stumble on any rocks or anything like that, it's gonna protect your toes. And as you can see, the Vibram soles on these are pretty aggressive. And as you can see, the shoelaces on these are 550 cord style shoelaces, so they're kind of thick. So far, like I said, these have been super comfortable, and I've been fairly impressed. Like I said, I wore them through snow and through rain, and my feet never got wet. Let's just go over some of the quick negatives that I didn't like about these shoes. One of the main things that I noticed pretty fast, especially on the warmer day, is that these shoes run hot. My feet are never sweaty. Actually, my feet are actually super dry, so I don't have the problem of sweaty feet. But with these shoes, my feet were actually really warm. And actually, by the end of the day, when you take the shoes off, the feet actually kind of smell. So I did not like that part. I would say that these shoes are good for if you're gonna wear them outside, if it's like below zero all the way up to about 50 degrees max. If it's any warmer, I wouldn't recommend wearing these, especially if you're gonna be on your feet all day walking around or hiking or whatever. Like I said, my feet get cold in the wintertime all the time, and my feet never got cold in these shoes. So it could be a positive and a negative, but to me it was a big negative, and that's why I was looking for a non-Gore-Tex shoe once the temperatures got a little warmer. Another negative that I noticed is that the 550 cord style shoelaces, they're nice and thick. I like that part, but I don't like it because they untie. So you really got to make sure that you cinch these down. And I think eventually I'm just going to swap these out to kind of like the Salomon style draw cord, to where it just locks it in. So this way I don't have to constantly worry about my shoes untying. Pretty much these are the only two negatives that I found with these shoes so far. Another thing is the suede material up top. It's advertised as a black color, and as you can see, I didn't even pay attention to it until somebody mentioned it at work, that these actually look gray. So if you work at a workplace like in law enforcement, for example, that requires you to have black shoes, the quick workaround for this is just use black shoe polish, and you put it over the suede material. Of course, it's not going to have like that suede feeling anymore, but actually one of my friends did that, and it looked nice and shiny and black, if that's what you want to do. So that's a workaround for this shoe. So the Timp 5, so far I've been fairly impressed with these shoes. Have been very nice and cushy, just like the Olympuses. They feel equally as cushy, even though there's slight difference in the cushioning with these shoes. And they've been pretty breathable, so my feet did not sweat at all. So I wore these all day yesterday, and we covered a lot of ground. And I played pickleball for a couple hours today, and they're quite comfortable. Some of the negatives so far is, before I purchased these, I was reading the reviews, and the main concern people were saying is that they run too narrow. So if you're used to the standard Altra shoes that are super wide, these are slightly narrower. And as you can see in the picture, you can actually tell the difference, that these are slightly narrower than the Olympus 6s. When I put these on, I could actually tell that these are slightly narrower, but my feet are not super wide to where I need the extra width. So for me, this was a perfect size shoe width-wise. So to me, it was not a non-issue. There's also a non-Gore-Tex version of the Olympus 6s, if that's a workaround for that. But from reading the reviews on the Olympus 6s, people are saying there's some quality control issues, and they were having problems with that, where the fabric was separating from the heel. But like I said, it was all mixed reviews, so if you want to try those out yourself, and let me know in the comments if those are good shoes or not. Like I said, I've only had these for 2 weeks. I haven't really I've worn them at work, and I wore them doing all kinds of other activities, and so far I haven't had any issues. As you can see, these are flat shoelaces, and I haven't had these untie yet, so I'm probably not gonna replace these, and I'll leave those alone. And one thing that I noticed on the Altra shoes is they have this material here between the tongue and the shoe itself, so you're not gonna have anything fall through the crack here like sand or particles like that and give you blisters. So that's a nice addition to the shoe. So pretty much this concludes the video. Honestly, I'll just have to do another video after I wear both of these pairs for a while. So I was just trying to find one perfect shoe that I could wear year round, but unfortunately in Midwest we have seasons, so I'm gonna have to have 2 different shoes, and I'm gonna save the Olympus 6s for the winter time and test them out in some of the colder conditions for the next year's winter. But I'm gonna wear the Timp 5s all throughout the summertime, so I'll just give you an update on how these held up throughout the summer. Let me know in the comments what other videos you'd like to see, if you want me to compare any other shoes. I have quite a wide variety of running shoes that I've been collecting, just trying to vary different types of shoes, because like I said, if you go down the rabbit hole of running, since I've been running a lot, you've got to switch out your running shoes as well, to carbon plated, to non-plated, to super cushy shoes. So I can do a review on those as well. But I hope this video was helpful. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel and like the video, I'd really appreciate it. But you can follow us on Instagram at To The Core Media, To The Core Actual, and Officer 178 for any additional content. And we'll see you on the next one.